Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Steffy senses that her power is evaporating. Steffy Finnegan Forrester is the only woman in her 30s who believes she can do no wrong and that everyone must kneel down to her. She has no problem spending her life telling everyone else they are wrong, and she does not like it when people tell her she is wrong. Australian arrivals on the Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Steffy simply cannot handle the thought that Carter Walton is now opposing her and challenging her. Spoilers for the Bold and the Beautiful October 23, Wednesday. Steffy senses her authority eroding. If Thomas Forrester isn't there to create stylish clothing, how can Hope Logan, who has no design aptitude at all, be receiving this much attention when her line is always failing? Ignore the fact that Steffy lacks design skills and that her employment is purely a result of nepotism. It's unacceptable that Carter has now included Ivy Forrester and her sister, Electra Forrester, in the conversation. Steffy takes her complaints to Ridge Forrester in the hopes that he will speak with Carter and inform him that Steffy is in charge and that she must be consulted before he makes any choices. Will Ridge follow his daughter's instructions, or will he laugh in her face? This could go either way. Ivy Forrester takes over in B&B spoilers. This time, Ivy will not allow Steffy to try to walk all over her. Ivy will not put up with Steffy's habit of instructing other people what to do. She goes to see her cherished Uncle Eric Forrester in order to catch up. Though he needs to prepare for Ivy's tirade, Eric is glad to see his brother's girls in Los Angeles. Ivy feels that by never coming up with or approving new ideas, Steffy is preventing Forrester from moving forward. She is likewise closed off to the opinions of others. Will Eric take action to address Steffy's large britches, or will he let her continue to bully his business? Who should win the Forrester Creations showdown, Team Carter or Team Steffy? According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Forrester Creations has seen the emergence of an unexpected new feud. Although Carter Walton's sudden confrontation with Steffy Forrester seems a bit forced, at least it's a change of pace. We must examine the dispute more closely and choose a side now that Steffy and Carter are competing against one another in the corporate world. Do you support Carter or Steffy? We should first recognize that Steffy is Carter's supervisor because she is co-CEO. Given that Carter arranged the resurrected jewelry line pitch behind Steffy's back, one could argue that he isn't honoring that. It's also impossible for B&B fans to overlook the fact that Carter didn't believe in Hope for the future until he was attempting to lure Hope Logan, Annika Noel, into bed. Although this has grown beyond Hope's line, Carter's desire to support Steffy's longtime rival is undeniable and is contributing to this feud as well. Given how Steffy has hampered Hope, a part of Carter could want to defeat her. Nevertheless, Carter's allegations that Steffy has allowed personal matters to influence business choices have some merit. Based on the successful numbers, Steffy was mistaken to oppose Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, taking center stage in the Brooke's Bedroom revival. Regardless of Steffy's prior grievances, it is understandable why Carter could object in other circumstances where he believes Forrester Creations can be successful. Before discontinuing the entire jewelry line, Steffy might have at least had a look at the designs created by Electra and Ivy Forrester, Ashley Brewer. Does Steffy really have so much going on that she couldn't just walk down to the salon and look? Steffy could have found the time, especially with all the breaks she takes to make out with Tanner Novlan's character, John Finn Finnegan. Although Steffy didn't have to give her approval, it would have been reasonable to view the jewelry designs before making a choice. However, it's possible that Steffy felt compelled to set some limits and inform Carter that ambushing her was unacceptable. It might have been a power maneuver intended to make Carter look bad, and perhaps he does deserve to be made to look bad in this situation. In the end, there are valid reasons to back either side of this battle between Forrester Creations, which will only intensify now that Carter has another pitch coming up. Which team are you supporting, Team Carter or Team Steffy? In your opinion, which side will prevail? Stay tuned for predictions on the outcome and updates on all the stunning news that lies ahead, as spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful indicate that Carter and Steffy's fight will bring a lot more drama to the office. Steffy is tricked. Is it wise to invest in Ivy's company? According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy Forrester Finnegan was surprised when Ivy Forrester showed up at the executive office of Forrester Creations. However, she did so because Carter Walton sees potential in her jewelry. Additionally, Steffy was surprised to see Electra Forrester, another family member, enter the gathering. She did, however, as part of Ivy's pressure. Carter is thinking about Hope Logan because he started dating her personally. Although Steffy isn't aware of it yet, she will undoubtedly learn about that aspect of this soap opera equation. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful: is it wise to invest in Ivy's business after Steffy is tricked? Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful: the arrival of Electra Forrester. Electra is Ivy's niece and Eric Forrester's great-niece. Electra's grandfather, Ivy's father, and Eric's brother were all named John Forrester. According to Ivy, Electra is essential to her company's continued development. Having not seen Grace since childhood, Steffy is enamored with the role she is playing. Ivy's risk might pay off, and Steffy will consent to merge the jewelry company with Forrester Creations. Will Spencer and Electra will run into each other in person in FC's hallways in the upcoming moments? There will be a romance in the fall. Ivy Forrester is a different person, according to B&B spoilers. She was mentioned twice in Ivy's pitch to Steffy, along with other complex storylines including their difficult past with Liam Spencer. She did, however, believe that they had changed and were able to move past their differences. On 2 occasions, Steffy expressed her sorrow for the passing of Ivy's father, John, and said he was a wonderful man. The audience was aware that the writers were honoring Willard's death in 2020 in that way. Ivy seems to be here to stay. When she courted Liam earlier this year, the audience witnessed her brief comeback. He turned down that attempt, but if Hope keeps ignoring him, he might want to give it another go. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful: Steffy Forrester desires successful business. Steffy keeps demonstrating her willingness to put the family business's needs ahead of her own. By committing to preserving hope for the future, she accomplished that. Due of sluggish sales, Steffy has rejected Carter's attempts to boost HFTF's finances. His intention to strengthen Hope's line may also be the reason behind his proposal to include Ivy in FC. However, Steffy is astute, and once she learns that Hope and Carter are involved, her perspective will change. Knowing that the past is over but that it could recur in this version of Los Angeles, California, Steffy will continue to watch Ivy. Hope is startled by Liam Spencer. Who will she pick? Viewers of The Bold and the Beautiful are baffled by the reunion of Lope, which was unexpected on the CBS serial opera. According to previews for this week's B&B, Liam will surprise Hope Logan and fans back home with his newfound affection for his ex-wife. Will Hope leave Carter in order to get her family back together? Keep reading to find out all that will happen next on the CBS soap opera. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful: Liam Spencer puts on a show. When Hope fled with Thomas Forrester, Liam Spencer went on a rampage. He served Hope with divorce papers right away in an attempt to persuade Steffy Forrester to quit her marriage. B&B warning: Hope is startled by Liam Spencer. Who will she pick? Additionally, Liam tried playing the stereotypically resentful ex-husband and showed up to Hope's house to reprimand her for having an affair. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, this week her ex-husband will completely change his mind and surprise Hope Logan with a lavish gesture and a passionate kiss. B&B previews indicate that Liam will create a comprehensive slideshow showcasing all of his favorite aspects about her. Hope will undoubtedly be left stunned and rightfully perplexed. The Spencer heir will conclude his presentation with a proposal to bring his family back together and nurture their daughter as a unit. Hope has been skulking around with Carter Walton for nearly a month, and that is the only issue. Is it okay for her to disclose her secret boyfriend to Liam? Is Logan sleeping with Liam Spencer, per B&B spoilers? Hints of B&B spoilers: hopefully, Logan will become engrossed in the time with Liam, go down memory lane with him, and enter the bedroom. Liam is not as alone as he believes, and he is unaware that his second ex-wife, Ivy Forrester, played by Ashley Brewer, is traveling to Los Angeles. Will Liam run off with Ivy and leave Hope high and dry after Hope dumps Carter and reunites with him? Who should Hope Logan pick, in your opinion? Tension was building at Forrester Creations, and Ivy's return came with more than just a desire to reconnect with her family. She carried with her something that could alter the trajectory of the company's internal dynamics, critical information that she'd stumbled upon regarding Steffy Forrester's recent business dealings. While her relationship with Steffy had always been strained, Ivy hadn't expected to be thrust into the center of another family scandal. But as it turned out, the intel she had gathered put her in a position of power, whether she wanted it or not. Eric Forrester had been concerned for some time. As the patriarch of the family and the guiding force behind Forrester Creations for decades, he had noticed subtle shifts in how Steffy was managing the business. Her increasing demands, erratic behavior, and the intensity of her interactions with key executives, particularly Carter Walton, had raised several red flags. Eric, always the wise overseer, had seen many family conflicts unfold in the company's long history, and he had learned to trust his instincts when something felt off. It was during one of Eric's quiet reflections that Ivy approached him. What she revealed wasn't just another piece of gossip, it was a carefully constructed puzzle that pointed to serious issues within the company's leadership. Steffy, once known for her shrewd and confident decision-making, seemed to be losing control. Not only was she making questionable business calls, but her relentless focus on her personal vendettas, especially against Carter and Hope Logan, was causing instability within the company. Ivy had uncovered a series of financial discrepancies tied to projects Steffy had championed, and though they weren't glaring enough to cause immediate concern, they hinted at deeper mismanagement. Eric's initial reaction was shock. His granddaughter, someone he had nurtured and supported throughout her career, was now at the center of a potential scandal that could shake the very foundation of the Forrester legacy. But being the composed leader that he was, Eric knew that rushing to judgment wouldn't help anyone. He needed more information, and more importantly, he needed to confront Steffy directly. But how? The Forrester family was no stranger to explosive confrontations, and the last thing he wanted was to cause a divide that couldn't be mended. Meanwhile, Steffy was completely unaware of Ivy's intel and Eric's looming discovery. She had been too engrossed in her own whirlwind of emotions. The tension between her and Carter had been escalating for weeks. What had started as a professional disagreement about the direction of Hope for the future, HFTF, had evolved into a personal clash. Carter, once one of Steffy's trusted allies, had been taking liberties at Forrester that Steffy felt undermined her authority. His recent proposal to involve Ivy and Elektra in a new jewelry line pitch had blindsided Steffy, sparking a firestorm of anger. In a private meeting after learning of Carter's pitch, Steffy let her frustrations boil over. She ranted about his insubordination and accused him of deliberately going behind her back to push an agenda that didn't align with the company's vision. What hurt most, however, was that she felt personally betrayed. Steffy had always respected Carter as both a colleague and a friend, but the cracks in their professional relationship had left her feeling exposed and disrespected. Unbeknownst to Steffy, her words weren't entirely unjustified. Carter had, in fact, been acting out of frustration with Steffy's leadership style. Her increasingly tight grip on the company's creative decisions was stifling, and many within Forrester, including Carter, felt that her judgment was being clouded by her personal battles, particularly her ongoing rivalry with Hope. Carter had grown close to Hope during their recent collaborations, and while their bond had raised eyebrows, it wasn't until recently that it began to affect his standing with Steffy. Steffy's rant wasn't confined to her office. She vented to anyone who would listen: Thomas, Ridge, even Finn. Her frustration with Carter and the pressure she felt at work was beginning to take its toll. She had always prided herself on being a strong, independent leader, but now she was questioning her own decisions. She felt cornered, not just by Carter but by the weight of her family's expectations. She raged about how Ivy, who had been absent for so long, had the audacity to come back and challenge her authority by siding with Carter on the jewelry line. Steffy's anger wasn't just about business, it was personal. Finn, always the supportive husband, tried his best to calm Steffy down, but even he could see that her emotions were getting the best of her. He suggested taking a step back, maybe even delegating some of her responsibilities to Thomas or Zen for a while, but Steffy wouldn't hear of it. In her mind, stepping back was admitting defeat, and she wasn't about to give anyone that satisfaction, especially not Hope, who she saw as a growing threat both personally and professionally. As Steffy spiraled, Eric was preparing for a difficult conversation. Armed with Ivy's intel, he decided it was time to confront his granddaughter about the issues at Forrester. He approached Steffy with care, not wanting to ignite a full-blown family feud, but determined to get to the bottom of what was happening. Eric's tone was calm, but firm. He laid out the concerns, the financial inconsistencies, the questionable decisions, and the growing tension within the team. Steffy, blindsided by Eric's revelations, initially reacted with defensiveness. How could her own grandfather question her leadership? She had done everything to uphold the Forrester legacy, and now it felt like everyone was turning against her. But as Eric continued, Steffy's defensiveness gave way to something else: fear. Fear that she was, in fact, losing control. Fear that her personal battles were starting to interfere with her professional responsibilities. Fear that her feud with Hope, her issues with Carter, and the pressure she put on herself to prove her worth were unraveling everything she had worked for. In a rare moment of vulnerability, Steffy admitted to Eric that she was struggling. She confessed that her obsession with controlling every aspect of Forrester had clouded her judgment, and that her personal grudges, particularly with Hope, were consuming her. But what Steffy didn't realize was that Ivy's intel was only the beginning. There was more at stake than just her leadership at Forrester. Eric had uncovered something even more troubling: the company's financial stability was at risk, and if Steffy didn't make immediate changes, everything the Forrester family had built could be jeopardized. The revelation shook Steffy to her core. She knew she had to make changes, but the question was, could she? Could she let go of her need for control, mend her fractured relationships with Carter and Hope, and focus on what was best for Forrester Creations? Or was she too far gone, consumed by her personal vendettas and blinded by her ambition? As Steffy grappled with these questions, Ivy remained in the background, watching the drama unfold. She hadn't intended to be the catalyst for yet another Forrester family showdown, but now that she had played her part, there was no turning back. Eric's discovery had set the wheels in motion for what could be the most pivotal chapter in Forrester Creations history.